For this assessment, eye teaming is considered automatic if someone's eyes converge in sync as the target moves towards them, and then their eyes diverge in sync as the target pulls away. And they can do this while engaged in a cortex challenge. While you're watching this footage, just focus on what the eyes are doing and ignore the pencil, since the camera skews the angle and the distance, and the idea is just to, again, watch the eyes here. So right here, this is an example of what it looks like when somebody's eyes and brain have no idea how to team. If you'll notice, no matter how many times I went in, the eyes never converged or diverged. Okay, so she's been told to follow it in, but she has no idea how to do this. So she looks like concerned, her eyes go to the side. I don't think that's so much of because a weird way of looking at the pencil. She has no idea how to look at the pen. So she knows she's supposed to follow something, and she's really using her cortex to figure out, how do I do this? Except for it's really obvious her brain, like I say, has no idea. So now maybe I can look up. So unlike the first kid who just kept staring straight through, that time one eye went the other way, you never once saw the two eyes converge and diverge. This is somebody who has spent decades and has never ever seen a word where the two eyes team together. And here we see his eyes actually converge, and then they don't do the second part, which is slowly going out and diverge. So again, he absolutely can follow it in, but then he loses it. So that's a little more developed than the first two, but certainly has not nailed the eye teaming yet. Okay, so here you have the eyes are converging, but trust me, that does not look relaxed in the way it does when it's automatic. They're not in sync. You see the left eye goes out earlier. They go way, way in. Now he lost it completely, and then he's trying to come back in. This is totally somebody trying to use their cortex to do it. Now it's, I don't even know where they are. Oh, there it is. It's like a nightmare as far as the eyes and brain are concerned. So yes, that's a little more than the other people we've seen so far, but nothing that's going to make reading and writing easy, especially for any length of time. So you watch the eyes here. The left eye goes way in. The right eye hardly plays at all. Watch again and see, yep, that left eye is really going right in a little bit, but not in sync. So this is going to cause distorted vision if the two eyes actually at the same time try to look at, let's say, reading text. So again, you see really concentrated cortex. Can't really diverge either. A lot of strain. Oh, they went out, they go in. This is again is like crazy eyes. Going in. This time his right eye is the one that goes out, not in sync faster. He's now kind of playing around, but not really, because he just doesn't know what to do. You start seeing some of the tension. He's starting to move. It's like, this is just hard. What's going on? He gives it another whirl, but the eyes just completely go back out. And if you look at his face, he is so done. So just picture that, and then picture that child having to work 6 hours a day in a classroom where the eyes have to converge and diverge, and then come home and, oh yeah, there's another hour or so's worth of homework, and you'll wonder why sometimes these kids just don't want to work. So his eyes start to go in, but you start seeing again, ooh, the squinting compensation, the eyebrow lifting, already tells you it's not natural. You'll see again in here, all that squinting helps him see it actually a little better. It's the right eye that's barely moving. It's his left eye in this particular case that's doing a lot more of the work. The left eye that time didn't do anything at all. She has to have her head tilted to even do this. I'll adjust it, but she'll probably go back and tilt her head. The eyes go in, barely go out. The left eye went out more than the right. They go in. Oh, and you see the left eye did like almost a circle, a revolution around the eyes. Again, imagine reading with that. So his eyes go in. Again, the left eye is doing all the work. Right eye kind of comes in, but not at the same degree. A little more in sync than what we've seen before on this tape. But again, he's doing it with a cortex challenge now. So they come in, but consistently that left eye was going out faster. And I think coming in a little faster too. So again, not the natural look of converging, not relaxed at all, eyes not going in sync. Again, the really wide one, you see the left eye going out more quickly than the right. Lots of tension in her face. Again, when you see that, you know that is not automatic eye teaming. Here comes this one. You've got, again, for whatever reason, these people, their left eye is working more than the right. That's not always the case. But there it goes in, it goes out. The right eye is kind of not doing much. Came to the party, but not doing a whole lot. Here, both her eyes come in together. They go out a little out of sync, but they at least went in together. They're coming in again. Pretty much going out at the same speed again, not quite. Looks like her actual right eye goes out more than her left that first time. This time, kind of hard to say on there. They're not quite in sync. She has trouble diverging. They come in and then they go out. They're not like the kid we saw who didn't go out at all, but it's kind of like her brain goes, yeah, it's a little too much work. So here our eyes converge, not quite in sync, but the right eye goes way out further than the left. Consisting, again, the right eye's going out, not in sync. Now she's doing the cortex challenge. She's trying to do something at the same time. But her eyes didn't change. And what's important to watch here is, because that will happen sometimes, she's still doing the same eye teaming, but she can't, for the life of her, do the cortex challenge that we're asking her to do. And she at least was aware of it. Sometimes people aren't even aware of it. Okay, the first take in, they more or less converge. They're not quite in sync. The right eye went out more than the left. Okay, as soon as you see that, you already know lots of cortex thinking. She's definitely thinking about it. That is not automatic eye teaming. So I'm going to go to the cortex challenge. So now we start to get into a cortex challenge, and right away, if you notice, only her right eye is playing. Her left eye quit altogether. Okay, the eyes go in almost in sync, and they go out together almost in sync. And once again, he does it. This is getting closer to what it looks like for automatic eye teaming. He's doing a cortex challenge. It hasn't really changed. He's still got the cortex challenge going. Same eye teaming. It'll get more in sync, but that's getting a lot closer, especially if you compare it to the earlier clips in this footage. The eyes converge and go out. A little bit like the last person we looked at, the eyes are definitely going in and out. His particular right eye doesn't quite go in sync with the left. They go in, but they don't both go out the same way. But again, he's doing a cortex challenge. You see right here, the left eye is working a lot more than the right eye. So the eyes converge, but you see that the right eye is going out a little faster than the left. It does it again. Matter of fact, she's pretty consistent about each time the right eye's going out. But it's getting closer to what eye converging looks like. And again, all we really need to see is that the two eyes in sync go in and in sync go out, converge, diverge, being the technical words. Just so you know, this does not by far show every possible things that people do. It can be somewhat entertaining sometimes when you do eye teaming, but it gives you an idea of what it looks like when it absolutely is not happening and how it starts to look when the eyes and the brain figure out how to do this.